It's Wednesday now. Persona. Go.
Persona. So I think Persona 5 started out really strong because they give you like this like introductory mission where your character is actually cool and is interacting with cool other characters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like something that happens later on when you become cool.
Oh, so you're working back to the coolness.
Yeah.
That's not an unheard of strategy.
It's not. That's fairly common in games now to, get you to the point like, oh, this is what's going to happen. This is how, this is what it's like to feel awesome in this game.
Like, this is what it's going to be like later. We're going to give you a taste.
Yeah.
A sampler platter.
Which is great from a gameplay standpoint. When it's like, oh, from a gameplay standpoint, you're going to feel this awesome later. But when it's from a character standpoint, it's like, you're going to like this character later. But right now, they have zero personality.
Goddamn right.
Immediately after this introductory segment, they have zero personality.
See, that's the trick. Characters need to go through character arcs, yes, but they need to be at least somewhat engaging at first.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's engaging in a, wow, this person's an asshole, or kind of a terrible person way, it still catches your attention.
Have you seen the John Wick movies?
No.
Either of them?
No.
Okay, so that's such a...
You know me.
It's such a really cool, movie series. Specifically the first one, because of the fact that it has this character arc, and he's got a mission, he goes through changes through the course of the movie or whatever.
Mm.
But it starts with the backstory. There's a backstory that you never know. He is this amazing badass, and everybody's afraid of him. Everybody in the shady underworld is afraid of him.
Yeah.
But they never explain why. They never talk about it. They never say where he came from. It's just all of a sudden they messed with him, and now he's coming to get them.
Now he's pissed.
Yeah. And it really works because of the fact that they don't dwell on his origin. It makes you more interested in the character than if they did tell you where he came from.
There's an air of mystery.
Yeah.
That wasn't...
And then, you think about Star Wars, too. Everybody hates the prequels. Most people hate the prequels.
Yeah.
But part of that, not the whole thing, part of that is we didn't need Darth Vader's backstory.
We really didn't. It's actually, that is a conversation I've had many a time where it's like, go watch the original movies, especially the just original Episode 4, A New Hope, and realize how not remotely important he really was in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
He was just a leader foot soldier.
Yeah.
He gets knocked out of his, out of the final battle on the Death Star by Han Solo getting a cheap shot. Mm-hmm. And even throughout the rest of it, it wasn't really so much that he was super important. It was just that he was Luke's father that, really mattered.
Well, his backstory is the same as Luke's story. It's oh, you were supposed to be the chosen one. Maybe the prophecy is weird. I don't know. That's kind of the whole story of Star Wars. In both the prequels and the original series. It's we don't really understand this prophecy, but we're going to go off of it.
Because all throughout the original 3 movies, you'll notice he worked for somebody else the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
He was never his own autonomous person, ever.
Right.
Granted, he's manipulated in the prequels into losing his autonomy.
Right.
But they build up so much more importance to the character that, that loss of autonomy is kind of part of the tragedy.
Yeah.
In a sense. But, then you watch the original 3 movies and you realize, that was never really a facet of the character to begin with. Not in, the original writing that we would have experienced him.
Yeah, exactly.
Going through.
There's a reason that the story started where it started. It started where it gets interesting.
Yeah, the prequels really do feel like something that is just something a story you tell truncated to set up the story you're about to see in full.
Yeah.
And, like, when you tried to flesh out what should have actually been truncated, it gets weird and messy and doesn't work as well as you wanted it to in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd said to people shortly after those movies had started coming out that, like, if they'd been standalone movies, I guarantee they wouldn't get nearly the hate that they do. Mm-hmm. It's because they were made prequel to a series that so many people are already so familiar with.
Yeah.
And yet it feels like it's kind of flying in the face of a lot of things. It's changing dynamics of later events.
Yeah.
That it just kind of hurts, you know?
Right. Yeah. And, I mean, you could make interesting stories around the characters in the prequels. Like, there's so many great characters there. But they don't... The story isn't their stories. The story is what happened before the story that we care about.
Yeah.
If we just told those characters' stories, like a Mace Windu story, or like any of those Jedi, would be great. Not any, but most of them would be great. So what am I doing?
Palette.
Palette.
With Luca Nagisa
The palette.
replica outfit. I love how we opened with, we're going to talk about Persona, and now we've been going on about Star Wars.
We still are. Persona also...
We're talking about concepts.
Persona also starts you out with a cool story bit, and then puts you back
now
and
you're playing the
it.
prequel.
Yeah.
You're not playing the interesting middle story.
Yeah, exactly. Alright,
so... Yeah, so her...
And...
Nagisa replica. It's actually, I think it's fairly... Yep, it was right there. They didn't specify alt or not alt, so I'm going to assume not alt in this case, because not alt has the eye
just
badge.
basic, right?
Yep, that's it.
But yeah, like... From a gameplay standpoint, sure, make us a badass and then take it away. From a storytelling standpoint... Make it interesting from the beginning.
I didn't interrupt there fast enough, but I really wanted to be like, you know, make us a badass, then take it away. Metroid Prime! But yeah, the characters have to be some amount of, like... Again, it's not that they need to be likable at the beginning of a story.
Just compelling.
Yeah, compelling. That's a great word. I was going to say, they need to grab your attention, which is what compelling means. Well, that's just, you know, it can mean that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a game I really love, like, love, for the DS, called The World Ends With You. The main character in that game starts off as a very bitter, asshole-ish prick. Like... And I got another friend of mine into the game at one point, and so next time I saw him after he'd started playing it for a minute, I was like, "Oh, how you liking that?" And he was like, "Oh, you know, the gameplay's funny thing, but like, I hate this main character." And I was like, "Give it a while." And so, like, by the time he finished the game, we talked about it again, and he was like, "I still don't really like this guy necessarily, but you know, things changed." I was like, "But that's just it." The whole time, he commanded the presence in the game, and he went through a character arc. But the thing I think was kind of unique about his character arc is that it doesn't end with, like, the total change of the character, where now he's a completely likable, amazing person. Instead, it ends at the point where he makes, like, the revelation that's going to allow him to grow into that better person. So we see him finally kind of shedding... you know, the chains of this cynical, like, stunted, reclused individual that he was at the beginning of the story. But that also, you're not supposed to like him at the beginning of the story. That's his arc of growing out of that is, like, one of the main points of the game, narratively.
So this is like... That sounds like every second Batman movie.
Every second Batman.
Well, not every other, but every time that they reboot Batman, and the second movie is kind of that theme. Oh, I was wrong.
Good. Cool, bad. I said it before, I'll say it again. Man, I love being a turtle. No. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Anytime I start to say I've said it before and I'll say it again, I always remember that line from Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and all four of them. Man, do I love being a turtle.
You dirty rat. Oh, that must be Splinter's favorite.
It's a joke. I made another funny. Ah! Those first two movies, I really love them. Actually, I didn't mind the third movie at all. It gets a lot of shit, but I granted, the last time I saw it was when I first saw it as a kid.
Yeah. No, I loved it when I was a kid. Yeah. I watched it I want to say 5 years ago.
Did not hold up.
No, I did not enjoy that at all. And my entire because I watched everything. Yeah, remember before we went and watched the Michael Bay one?
Yeah.
I rewatched all the previous ones.
Yeah, you told me about that.
So that was when I saw that again. So I watched the first one, second one, third one, the TMNT thing, the animated one.
Oh, they're already in the correct stuff because so the two different Wintry Winds requests they both used the same modules because they both wanted the recommended modules. Okay,
so are you even doing it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again because I like this song so much.
Okay,
I really, really like this song. Sorry.
Yeah. So, Turtles 2, up until I rewatched them that time.
Right.
Turtles 2 is my favorite of the whole series.
Now it's Turtles 1.
Now it's Turtles 1. Turtles 1 is amazing. It's so good.
Dude, yeah, no. When I rewatched that again as an adult, I was just like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
They really nailed, the Turtles and the themes of family and just, everything.
Yeah.
Oops, that was silly. And,
that first Turtles movie is, the precursor to the Fast and Furious series. Where they nail the idea of a family and the group and that type of thing.
And I remember we both said when we came out of the first Bay movie that we really liked it.
Oh, yeah.
And I did.
I really did.
I think they nailed the family thing.
I think they did, too. It's just that, they modernized it, and that's really the only thing that people could complain about, I think, is that, well,
I mean, people are going to complain about, fucking whatever.
Right.
And I've had people, because I talked about it with some viewers in stream at one point.
Yeah.
And one of them was just, I don't know if it was a he or whatever, but internet. But one of them got, really inflamed that I liked that movie. And that I was saying, oh yeah, it did this well and it did this well. And they were like, no, it did all those things wrong. And I was like, okay, if that's how you feel, that's fine. But, don't sit in here and yell at me about it, because I'm not going to change my mind because you bitched.
Okay, so the other thing that I think is the fact that April and her dad were involved in creating the Turtles.
Yeah.
That's...
But in the grand scheme of the movie, that's fairly nitpicky, I think.
Yeah. But that's the other thing that that's the only thing that bothers me. I'm not bothered by the fact that they were modernized, because you have to. It's to a...
Yeah, it was 15?
Yeah.
something like that? 2014?
13 or 14.
13? Was it? Wow. Was that
13 or 14. Yeah, because there's a second one already, and that's been...
Well, yeah, no, I know. I haven't even passed
They're already rebooting it again, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. I haven't actually watched the second one.
I haven't either.
Oh, okay. We
should just do that. We should do that.
But yeah, no, you have to. You can't just remake the old thing in the, old ways. That's not going to resonate the same way that it did back when it was made then. Even with the old fans.
Yeah.
And, if you're going to redo something or go back to something, you should do it differently, because that's what you can do.
Because the original already exists.
Yeah, don't remake something shot for shot, because it already exists. You can just go watch it again. That's when people complain about, a game reboot or, a new offshoot on a game series that they like where it's different. And I'm just like, the old games didn't disappear. They still exist. Go play them. If you don't like the new one, that's fine. But you don't get to tell other people that they're not allowed to like it because it's different. And that's, your whole complaint. That's all you've got.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, I am really into remakes. Because a lot of times I'll buy a game and I'll be like, yeah, I like this game. I'm going to play it. I'm going to collect it. You know, that type of thing. And then I never actually finish it. And then a remake comes out. I'm like, okay, cool. Here's my chance to play it again.
But like,
for the first time.
Again, for the first time. But like with a remake, I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by a remake. Do you just mean like
the remasters,
a re-release?
Like the remasters, where it's just like it looks better and it plays on modern.
Okay, so a re-release.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. Like even if it,
so,
I'm gonna do magical shower again.
This is 2 songs we've played already back to back. So this one is gonna have Miku Etoile and Rip the Light Fantastic Hair.
I should go the other way, because I'm guessing these are... They are not. I was going to say, I'm guessing these are alphabetical.
Nope, not even remotely.
Alright.
Oh, yeah. And since I'll wager somebody's going to bring it up at some point with like, this is what I didn't like about the movie. I didn't have a problem with the Turtles redesigns.
Oh, yeah.
As I pointed out to many people, and I had quite a lot of people go, oh, I didn't think about it that way. Holy shit, they actually look like mutants that people might fear if they saw them randomly. Like, there's a much better reason for them to need to hide when they look more monstrous like that.
Yeah. Also, they look more like turtles.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I hadn't bought that one? What the f... Oh, that must be a DLC one.
Like, they just actually look like turtles.
Yeah. Not like cartoon turtles, but like turtles.
And Rip the Light Fantastic?
It's hair.
Oh!
Yeah, it's a hairstyle with a really overblown name.
Rip the Light Fantastic!
Yeah. I'm not sure what that sounds like, but it sure sounds like something.
So Persona 5.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
I like how you then went back a few because, like, brain just skipped.
Yeah. I regret hair.
No,
that's not. That's not the right one. Oh my god.
What the f... wait, go back. No, that's out of the gravity. God damn it.
That's not even close to the same thing.
It was just... The word structure just...
Ride the lightning.
Ride the lightning! Oh my god, where is... There it was!
It's Trip the Light Fantastic, which is a real thing.
I have no fucking clue, and it's possible that they accidentally left out the T in the comment.
Trip the Light Fantastic is a real thing.
What is it?
And probably what you were thinking of that it sounded like. I don't remember what it is. I think it's like... It's something from the 70s or 80s, I want to say.
There's a good chance I might remember that then, but I wouldn't have been like aware of what it was.
Or maybe it's even from this game. It could be from Outrun.
Back in time.
Oh my god, I'm horrible with this game. Why am I playing this again? I mean, I know why I'm playing this again. But why I'm bad at it. That's all I'm telling you.
It has nothing to do with Outrun. That hair is actually... Do you remember the last song in Project Mirai that plays during the credits? And they're all wearing the like super colorful outfits, the 3 of them. That's the hair that goes for that outfit for Miku for that song, which is in this game. And I have played once or twice now. It was a request at some point. Kind of a weird, like, I mean, not really weird because I suppose you could do like any hair with that dress, since the dress isn't really specific to the way hair looks, I guess. Seems, again, interesting choice.
The biggest problem with this song, specifically like the chart, is that...
I mean, I figured that's what you meant.
It goes back and forth between whether it's her voice or the melody of the music or the drums.
This is where my not playing against the music is a boon. Because I just like... my brain doesn't match these notes to the music anyway. Or it doesn't match it to any specific noise. I'm hearing anyway. So, like, in these situations where it's very clearly, like, hitting on certain notes, and then it switches over to hitting on her voice, like, my brain doesn't think that's weird. Because I think, really, the chart, or at least the hard version chart, was written the way my brain processes it anyway, which is they wrote the notes in the chart to punctuate on whatever part of the music is standing out the most at that point in the song. I will say in Tokyo Mirage Sessions that the main character is...
So this section right here, the part that stands out the most...
is not what it's hitting
the
on.
Guitar, and it's hitting on the drum.
Oh, weird. I mean, conceptually weird. I don't... yeah, what was it? Going back to all that stuff we were talking about, like, characters and being engaging and getting into like an RPG. In Tokyo Mirage Sessions, it's kind of funny that the only character that I don't find engaging is the main character. Every other character in some way is like, okay, I'm getting into this. I
wonder if that's a Persona thing.
Like, maybe. I know that in 3 specifically, the main character was intentionally set up as a blank slate.
Yeah.
For the player to project themselves onto.
Right.
You know, doesn't talk, all that sort of thing. And now, granted, that's not what turned me off of Persona 3.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that, like, I didn't think the characters were engaging or something. Mm-hmm. It was just like, you have taken way too long to get to the part of the game I care about most in any game, which is gameplay. And it was just like the most old-fashioned, basic, turn-based JRPG.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, never mind, I'm going back to Wild Arms 5.
So, acute.
And it's funny, because I bought them at the same time.
Yeah.
When the game's out, I was like, I knew I was going to pick up Persona 3 because so many people have been like, oh man, Persona games are so good. You got to try them out sometime. And Persona 3 was brand new.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? Okay, so they've got them listed in an order that is different to the default order they are here.
Go with the order.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the requester's order because last time I didn't and I was wrong. So
yep. Do it. But yeah, like I mean, I do feel like I would care about the storyline once it gets to the point where
it's picked up.
Where it started.
Yeah, where it's like actually in gear.
Yeah. Because, yeah, like that first introductory thing was kind of cool. I was like, I like this character. I even went and made a character in Guild Wars based off of that character. Because that's how cool he was for the first, maybe not even 15 minutes, like 10 minutes. That's how cool he was. I'm like, this guy's cool. And then it drops me into the precursor to why that's cool. And I don't know. It takes too long to get into.
I mean, that was my problem with 3, was it took so long to get to this point. And when I was finally like, alright, time for the battle system in the game, this is what is going to be used as the bones to frame this narrative around, and wow, that was a lot of build-up for disappointment.
Yeah.
Like, just straight up, I'm disappointed in this. I've played Super Nintendo RPGs with more mechanics.
One of the things that really got me into wanting to play Persona 5 was the memes. Everybody did memes about the menu of it, like the combat menu. It's like gun or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was one instance where it was like Moe from The Simpsons teaching a class on like jazz dance or whatever. And he's like, when somebody's trying to hit on your girl or whatever, You just give him one of these, and he like breaks that into a dance, and then he pulls out a shotgun and fires off like 3 rounds.
Okay.
But it had like the menu thing for
right.
for Persona 5, and I'm like, if that's what the combat is like just random a dancing thing while you're doing your menu stuff, even if it's menu driven turn-based thing, that's way cool. Like I want something ridiculous like that, especially because the music in the games is great and it's jazz music. You know, it's
right.
like jazz music with like jazz interpretive dance stuff going on in the battle systems. Yeah, make the battles cinematic, even if the cinematic battle is outside of the menus. So like, there's just cinematic stuff going on while you're navigating your menus.
Right.
Like, that'd be cool, but it's just the same thing as everything. Not everything, because nothing even does that anymore. Maybe that's why it's so low.
Yeah. It's got that old school Flava Flav going on that
Flava Flav!
People keep claiming they want and then complaining when it actually happens.
I actually would like some old school Flava Flav, though. Public Enemy. So good at what they did. And Flava Flav was the hype man! And he wore the clock?
Yeah, he did. That's the only thing I remember about him. Oh, well, I mean, he was a playable character in
Def Jam.
Def Jam Fight for New York. Def Jam.
One of them.
Fight for New York. I think it was Fight for New York. I think that was the second one.
Which is the one that you can actually make your own character?
Second one, Fight for New York.
We should play that.
You know what? I'm not against that at all because I really enjoy that game to death.
I like the whole Def Jam series. I just remember, like, I just want to play the one where you can make your own character.
I never played Icons, so I'm not. I remember hearing that Icon was like. Ugh.
True, I didn't play that one either. I only played the first 2.
Yeah, Fight for New York was fantastic. Absolutely my favoriteest character creator. Not in that it's like super in depth and I can make anything I want, but the framing device for the character creator in that game is great. Because the story opens, there's a hair in my mouth.
That's not going to help you play?
No, it's not, and I'm dying a lot. Also, my nose is itching, and oh my god, my body betrayed me! Fed up with this world! Man, that meme's so dead, I bet nobody even knows
Mark.
what it is. Well, I mean, I knew you would know what it was, but...
Did you see the... Since we're talking about Star Wars, did you see the thing with that?
No.
It was like... Have you seen... spoilers for the last... Episode 7.
I've not seen Episode 7.
You haven't? God damn it.
I'm not going to at this rate, so just whatever.
So Luke Skywalker appears at the very end of it.
Mm-hmm.
On an island by himself, and then it ends.
Okay.
Because Rey, like, goes and finds him.
Right. So
somebody took that scene and replaced Rey with Tommy Wiseau. so like Luke is like staring off into the water. He comes up behind him and he's like complaining about stuff, and then Luke turns around and looks at him for a second, and then he's like, "Oh, hi, Mark. How was your sex life?"
Awesome. I love it. What the shit was I talking about before?
I don't know. Next video.
I had a hair in my mouth. And
Next
maybe
video.
I'll remember it by Friday. And maybe it'll actually be Friday when the Friday episode goes up. Because holy shit, I am so fucking consistent about that crap.
The days of the week are tearing me apart.
Lisa, Mark, sex life.